he decided to abuse me and insult me personally about advice he claims I gave to the Prime Minister in a former role I had. He has no idea what advice I gave in that job.
David Lammy faces embarrassing moment in Parliament over his behaviour. You're not going to believe what just happened inside the UK Parliament. David Lammy, the man many see as one of Labour's most outspoken and passionate voices, just had a moment that's got everyone talking. It was loud, it was tense, and, frankly, it was awkward. What started as a routine debate turned into one of the most unexpected exchanges we've seen in weeks. And the way it unfolded, well, even Lammy's biggest supporters didn't know what to say. Let's break down exactly what happened. Because this isn't just about one argument, it's about how much pressure is now building inside the Labour benches, and what it says about the state of politics right now. So here's the scene. It was supposed to be a standard debate session, heated, yes, but within the usual parliamentary bounds. Lammy stood up, ready to deliver what he clearly thought would be a passionate defence of Labour's latest position on foreign policy. But somewhere between the lines, the tone shifted. MPs started murmuring. There were visible smirks across the benches. And before long, it turned into one of those moments where even the Speaker had to step in. Lammy, known for his fiery energy, had let emotion overtake message. He raised his voice, interrupted twice, and at one point, even gestured toward the opposition benches in frustration. The room reacted immediately. The Speaker's gavel came down, firm. "Order, order!" echoed through the chamber. But by then, the laughter had already started. Some MPs couldn't hold back, and that's when things went downhill. Now, to be fair, Lammy's passion has always been both his greatest strength and his biggest weakness. He's a skilled orator when he's calm, he commands attention. But when emotion takes over, moments like this happen. Clips of the exchange hit social media within minutes. One user wrote, "This isn't leadership, it's theater." Another commented, "Lammy just handed the opposition a gift. You can't act like that on the floor." Even some Labour supporters admitted the moment didn't look great. "David's got the heart, but he needs to remember the cameras are always rolling," said one grassroots member in a BBC radio call-in. And that's the truth in 2025. Every slip, every expression, every frustrated gesture becomes instant political ammo. But let's be real, this wasn't just about a bad moment in Parliament. It's about the pressure David Lammy's been under lately. As a senior Labour frontbencher, depending on which role he's defending that week, Lammy has become the go-to spokesperson for some of the party's most controversial stands. From international alliances to humanitarian policy, he's walking a fine line between diplomacy and political theater. And every time he speaks, the opposition pounces, looking for exactly this kind of reaction. So when he finally snapped, even for a moment, they got the clip they were waiting for. Let's look at what might have triggered it. Reports suggest it started when a Conservative MP made a sarcastic remark about Labour's moral compass, questioning whether Lammy was defending principles or just playing politics. Lammy, visibly frustrated, fired back. But instead of landing a powerful counterpoint, he lost the rhythm, the tone got sharp, the words got messy, and by the end, it looked less like a confident rebuttal and more like an emotional outburst. The cameras caught it all. Sky News replayed it in slow motion. Social media editors clipped it to just 15 seconds, and that's all it took. 15 seconds to turn a serious debate into a viral meme. Now, here's where things get interesting. Inside Labour, sources say the moment didn't sit well with some MPs who are already calling for more composure at the top. One insider reportedly said, "We can't afford these moments, not with the polls tightening." And they're right. In modern politics, perception is power. Even if Lammy's argument had substance, the public won't remember that. They'll remember the tone, the frustration, and the laughter that followed. That's how fragile image politics has become. Meanwhile, opposition figures wasted no time reacting. A Conservative spokesperson quipped, "If this is how Labour handles pressure, imagine them handling the country." But others came to Lammy's defense. One political analyst on Channel 4 said, "Lammy's human. He's emotional because he cares deeply about the issues. But the optics, they'll haunt him for a while." And that sums it up perfectly. Lammy's problem isn't what he believes, it's how it looked when he tried to defend it. What's fascinating, though, is how quickly the public reaction split down the middle. Some saw him as passionate, others saw him as unprofessional. Twitter threads, TikTok edits, and late-night talk shows everyone had a take. One viewer summed it up perfectly: that was raw emotion, but in Parliament, emotion gets punished. And that's a line worth remembering. Because in the world of politics, authenticity and professionalism are constantly at war. Show too little emotion, you're accused of being robotic. Show too much and suddenly you're losing control. It's a balance that even the best politicians struggle to maintain. So, what happens next? Well, insiders say Lammy's team is already doing damage control, carefully framing the moment as passionate defense rather than a meltdown. Expect to see him appear calm, measured, and polished in upcoming interviews, probably with a rehearsed line about how robust debate is part of democracy. Classic reset move. But make no mistake, the clip will live on. It'll be replayed every time critics question his temperament. And in the brutal world of modern media, that's the kind of moment that can shadow a politician for months. In the end, this wasn't the first heated exchange in Parliament, and it won't be the last. But it's a reminder that in the age of social media and constant cameras, even a few seconds of misplaced emotion can rewrite a political narrative overnight. David Lammy may recover from this. He's resilient, experienced, and still a major force within Labour. But people are asking the question: if this is how he reacts under pressure now, how will he handle it when the stakes are even higher? And that right there might be the real test of his leadership moving forward. Because as every politician learns, it's not just what you say that matters. It's how you handle the moment when everything goes wrong. Embarrassing or authentic, you decide. But one thing's for sure, this moment has changed the tone of Parliament for good.